So, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, and this is completely unscripted, but I have a little bit of a complaint. And the reason and one of the main reasons I'm complaining is the sheer lack of underrepresentation of musicians in the media, specifically those who play less common musical instruments. I am, of course, if not many of you know, I play the euphonium, which, and I will say this once in this video, is basically a small tuba. The euphonium is a 3 to 4 valve uh, brass aerophone. It is a member of the saxophone family. It was invented by Adolf Sax the in the 1800s, and it is a very loved instrument. I love it. I've played it for years, and I want to talk a little bit about euphonium and why it's been so meaningful to me as a person and to my life. I started playing musical instruments like a lot of you with the piano, or like a lot of people with the piano. Sorry, I shouldn't generalize there. But but in fifth grade, as with most schools, most music programs, I had the opportunity to work. I had the opportunity to choose a musical instrument that I would be able to play in band. And this was probably 2017, 2016, 2017. So a while ago. I've been playing for a while. It's 2024. Uh, old. And I started out originally wanting to play cello, which is not an instrument that's featured in the marching band. It's a lovely instrument. I know many amazing cellists, but it's just not an instrument that's in the marching band, unfortunately. If you've seen the, I know he's not really a, I know he's not, he's kind of a persona non grata at this point, but the Woody Allen movie, Take the Money and Run, is exactly what happens when there is a cello in the marching band. So, not endorsing that movie, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with anything regarding that specific celebrity. I just wanted to share that little anecdote. And I started obviously playing in fifth grade, and I originally wanted to play cello. And I like the cello. The cello is a beautiful instrument. It has a really good sound. But I wanted, and I have since, I wanted to participate in the marching band at the specific high school that I attended. Now, there had been a thing that I had gone to. It was called, it was essentially just an outreach for um, prospective band members for the specific high school that I went to. I'm not going to say what high school because then that would be weird. But I wanted to be in the marching band. I wanted to march around the field holding an instrument and play beautiful music and participate in shows. And that was a very important thing to me at the time. And I still miss certain aspects of that. I'm not doing marching band currently because I'm very busy and it's hard for me to do certain things now due to what I want to go into. But the thing about then I decided that I might want to try something like clarinet. However, I had a bit of an overbite, and playing the clarinet with an overbite is not exactly easy. Uh, Tell that to my micronathia, which, if you don't know, is a enormous small jaw. But I then wanted to play trumpet because that might have been easier. Mouthpiece was too small, and on the day we were choosing instruments, I could tell that one of the music teachers, in fact, the orchestra teacher, apologies for the noise, was saw that I could, or that I was having trouble with the trumpet, and recommended me to play euphonium, which I had never heard of euphonium. I didn't know what it did. I didn't know how it sounded, and so I could make a sound on it, which not many people can do when they first start playing an instrument, and it changed everything. It's a good sized mouthpiece for my assured for my facial structure, and I just fell in love with it. It was an eye-opening thing. Then I come to realize that there are two main downsides of playing the euphonium. First of all, it's heavy. I'm not talking like 4 or 5 pounds. The euphonium I currently own weighs 24.2 pounds. I have weighed it. It is not a light instrument. It is not easy to transport. It's very bulky. The case is a very strange shape. Second problem playing the euphonium. No one knows what it is. I say, oh, I play the baritone. And then they immediately think, oh, you play the baritone sax. No, they're two completely different instruments. They have two completely different shapes. I love the baritone saxophone very much. It is a very wonderful instrument. Props to all my saxophone friends out there. But no, it is a euphonium. It will always be a euphonium. It has always been a euphonium. Interesting fact, eu meaning good, phonos meaning sound. Good sound. They sound really great. And the thing that I usually preface with after I say to people what instruments I play or my primary instrument of choice, I usually lead with the guitar because I'm also a guitarist, and if you are lucky, you may get to see me play something that's hopefully not a cause of this video getting demonetized, but or if those videos getting demonetized for copyright infringement because they will be covers. They are not. I am not ripping off other artists, and I usually preface or follow saying I play the euphonium by saying it's basically a small tuba, which it is. It's a small tuba. However, there is one difference, or there are a couple of differences, but there is one main difference. A tuba is related to a flugelhorn, or no, a tuba is related to a cornet. If you've ever wondered how a cornet and a trumpet differ, a trumpet is conical. No, a trumpet is cylindrical, and a cornet is conical. Now, there are two types of instruments, two types of brass instruments. There are conical brass instruments and there are cylindrical brass instruments in modern band. In modern band. Well, there are multiple types of brass instruments because the didgeridoo also classifies. But the two main ones you see are conical and cylindrical. A conical horn starts out as a very small diameter, and then it gradually gets larger. It's kind of like a drink cup from a fast food restaurant. And a cylindrical horn is the complete opposite. It starts off and it really maintains the same tubing diameter throughout until it starts to get much wider and more flared towards the bell. And a trumpet is much, much more cylindrical. A cornet, on the other hand, is not. Cornet is very conical. And euphonium is also conical. So if you want to think of euphonium as being halfway between the cornet and the tuba, you can. Because a cornet is 2 octaves above a standard B flat tuba. They're usually in the key of B flat. There are like I think E flat tubas and E flat cornets, but those are less common. E flat tubas are smaller, and the euphonium is roughly an octave above the tuba. And when I say octave, that is for people who don't know music, or for people who are not musicians who are watching this. An octave, oct meaning eight, is usually the 8 notes in a major scale. It is all sorts of other notes. I'm not going to get into that, but it is the 12 notes between the 12 the 12 pitches in 12 cent equal temperament between two between in a single so think of it like a piano, right? You take middle C to the next C, that's one octave. It's 8 notes, but it is actually 12 because there are all of the sharps and flats, which are also there are flats and there are also sharps. But I digress. To as soon as I picked up the euphonium for the first time, I loved it. Then we went to buy one, and I realized, and my parents actually realized this before I did, it is not light. A euphonium is about the size of a large suitcase. It comes in a large suitcase. It comes in a case. Uh, the cases are usually all hard cases. They're all hard shell cases. I don't have a gig bag for my euphonium, unfortunately, but the case is huge. It's heavy. I have two horns. One weighs about 15 pounds. The other one weighs about 25. And they're very not easy to transport, especially if you have a small car, which my parents both drive sedans. They don't drive SUVs. Personally, I don't like SUVs, but that's just an idea. And my first day of band rehearsal, I get there and I'm like, okay, I know how to read music. I'd taken piano. I have since stopped taking piano. I did not like taking piano because my parents forced me to do it. Sorry for sending that out there. If my mom or dad are watching this video, thank you for getting me into music. I do not like the piano. I do not like taking piano lessons because I just that is not the way that I like to learn how to play music. I'm much more of a group musician than anything else. Piano is a very individual instrument. It is and can be played in an ensemble, but you much more see it just people in nightclubs or piano bars, playing jazz tunes or rock tunes. And the piano really taught me how to read music, just as is. Now with the euphonium, it's different because it's all bass clef, and I can read bass clef really well because I've been reading bass clef for a long time now. I have since lost the ability to read treble clef, which is kind of funny, and a little annoying, but that's just me. Uh, but the reason that I wanted to bring that up is it's one of the classic things in psychology. If you don't use it, you lose it, and that is completely valid. And I like thinking about how it would have how that would have changed if I had continued with piano or learned an instrument or learned another instrument that used treble clef. Because I know guitar uses treble clef. Guitar kind of uses treble clef. Guitar uses tab, and I also play drums and bass and a little bit of piano. I play a lot of instruments, but anyway, I did concert band in fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, kind of COVID year. Uh, I got the chance to play the national anthem for the opening of a baseball game. It was not a major league game; it was a minor league game, which I mean that's fine. I don't mind the minor leagues; they're important and necessary in MLB, and are in the baseball circuit in the United States. And the that was an amazing time. Middle school band was hectic, stressful, but very fun. And then I got to high school, and I got to high school right in the middle of the pandemic. So, height of COVID, I'm a new freshman entering a large ensemble. We are talking easily over 125 people in this thing. And I realized, oh wow, this is just so different than what I was used to. But I think that the main thing that struck me as great about it is I already had friends. There were already people from band that I knew that were going into it, and I made so many amazing friends in that ensemble that I still am friends with to this day. Uh, so many people that I'm still friends with to this day. They are all amazing human beings. I I cherished my time with them dearly. I love them like my own siblings. They are just amazing, amazing people. And bad kids are the best because they will go out of their way to be nice to you, and that is the utter truth. You know a band kid when you see one because they are the one a carrying a misship carrying all manner suitcases of suitcase looking things around either uh like in one hand, two hands on their back, in front of them, doing the paratrooper style. The man, I was really tensing there. I had my shoulders all the way up, and I put them down, and it just like relieved all the stress in my shoulders. Wow, but I but yeah, band kids are amazing. You, if a band director asks for a couple of band kids to stay behind and help out, there will be 15 people helping out because that is just how band kids. That's just the mentality of being a band kid. And nothing against sports teams, but to be honest, a marching band spends way more time on that football field than the football team does. We're out there in 90-degree heat in the middle of July in tank tops and shorts, carrying large metal objects and playing music while moving around. It is not an easy task. And one of the main reasons that I bought, hold on, where is it? I'm trying to maintain eye contact with the camera. Just give me a second. But this hat, this is my marching band hat. I love this thing. But, and I'm going to wear this for the rest of the video. But this thing is just, I wore this. You can tell. You can tell how much fading there is. This thing used to be olive green. Yeah, I mean, it still was olive green, but and you can try tell I love olive drab. Color of my pants. Hold on, can't even see that. Color of my pants. But the and that was kind of strange. But the thing that I loved most about marching band was the community, and I already had friends going into it, and that was, I think, very beneficial to being in just in a large group. That was also the same year that I discovered my love for theater. I am also a massive, massive, massive theater nerd. No. If your questions, respond in the comments if you have questions. But just I am not one of the like very I'm not a diva. I did I there are things about theater that I am I wouldn't say fanatic about, but there are things that I have a healthy obsession with. For one of them is gaffer tape. I love me some gaffer tape. Gaffer tape is amazing. Uh, I know a really great place where I can get it for not that much money. I'm not going to say where that is because this is not an endorsement. But I love me some gaffer tape. Gaffer tape is the best. It doesn't leave behind any residue when you apply it to anything. And I just really love the idea of working in a team. Now, in contrast to being in band, being in theater freshman year was a complete culture shock. Because I'd done band for a good 4 years. I'd never done marching band, and I'd never been in a musical ensemble during a pandemic. So it was very strange because we had to be all social distance. We had to be 2 yard lines apart, which is like 7.5 feet, or like more than 2 yard lines apart. We had to be very far apart. And the other thing was we had to have belt covers and instrument bags. Now, belt covers, you probably know what they are. They're these, they're usually fabric. Some of them can be paper, but they go over the end of a belled instrument and prevents aerosolized droplets from exiting that large hole at the end of it. That sounded weird, but they prevent air from they prevent droplets from being spread all over the place. And the so that was kind of weird because it made the instruments go all wonky and out of tune. But the thing about social distancing was fine. One problem is we couldn't actually mingle with other sections, so that was kind of weird. Uh, but the other strange thing was the instrument bags. Now, I don't know if anyone watching who will be watching this video did marching band or knows what I'm talking about, but essentially think of a cloth bag with two holes in it to put your hands so that you can play it. They're mainly for clarinets, saxophones, and anything else that has keys. So that is to prevent all of the air from migrating out of the keys, out through the keys. Uh, Certain government entities later learned that that actually doesn't happen. It really just goes out the bell. But we also had to use flute masks, which were really weird. And we had to use musician masks, which is essentially just a mask with like a thing like that to where it's essentially just a mask with like a gap sewn into it where it covers when it's like that, but when you need to play an instrument it opens. You can put the mouthpiece in and use it like that. And that's really good because those are valuable for preventing the spread of aerosol droplets from like corners of your mouth, especially during a aerosolized droplet pandemic, which soon. But yeah, I absolutely love marching band, and I think that another thing that I loved about it was we got to do so much fun stuff. We did the Thanksgiving parade of bands at Walt Disney World in Florida, which was very fun. I got to perform on the. I got to perform. I got to do a recording session there, which was very fun. I absolutely love recording, and I love putting my music out there, and I love being able to share music with other people. That's one of the main things that I do in my free time. And the other thing that I really loved about it was the ability to do things that I never would have been able to do otherwise. I never would have been able to go to Disney if I wasn't in marching band. I never would have been able to. I probably would not have been able to go to New York if I wasn't in theater. I wouldn't have been able to go to St. Louis and play at a play at an NFL stadium. It wasn't an actual NFL stadium. It had been an NFL stadium, uh, where the Rams had played, but they since have moved to Los Angeles, so they no longer play at the that specific center in there in St. Louis. But another thing I was able to do was I was able to have great conversations with a bunch of people. I remember one specific moment in time. It was during one of our breaks, and it was me and about probably four or five other people, and we got in our breaking band, and I'd usually just spend that eating either by myself or with another one of my friends or with someone I was interested in. And I, sorry, I'm fidgeting with something. I should keep my eyes on the camera. I absolutely loved being able to have a very, 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 very um philosophical conversation about the universe, about cosmology, and about a bunch of things that I was interested in. I'm I'm an astronomy nut. I love thinking about astrophysics and the origin of the universe. I mean, Dr. Tyson, if you watch this video, I applaud your work. You are easily my favorite living astrophysicist. Uh, but the thing that I loved about that conversation was it went into some really great topics. Heat death of the universe, and the idea that the universe could be cyclical. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with that. It just that was one of the things that was brought up. Uh, Quantum mechanics, philosophy, science, religion. They're all great topics you could have with people who are in a large organization and with people who are in a large extracurricular activity that is also for a grade. But the great thing about being in marching band is it's very hard to get a bad grade in marching band. But more in the euphonium, I it is still my primary instrument. I am still in band. I haven't played in a while because of reasons, but I still love it. I still treat it like it's my child because it is my child. It is the waste of a small human. I'm not exaggerating. It was probably a quarter of what I do. Yeah, which is wild to think about. But it is a time commitment, especially marching band, but music in general is just a time commitment that I love being able to fulfill. I love being able to have that outlet to express myself creatively because I am not good at drawing. I'm not good at painting. I I've never really been much of a maker. I mean, I like building stuff and I love working with my hands because that's what I want to do as a career. I want to be a surgeon. Uh, but the great thing about playing a musical instrument, especially one that is uh so vital and so uh underappreciated, and maybe that's not the right word, so um not well known, is easily my favorite thing to do because I am able to, with all the instruments that I play, I am able to create a space and an outlet for my creative endeavors. And I have even said to myself and to other people in my life that if I did not play music, I would go crazy. If I did not do theater, I would go crazy. And I think that being able to do something that you truly appreciate and truly love is essential. And I just want to close by saying thank you to all of the people who have helped me on the journey of being a musician. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. Uh, I want to thank my music teachers, my uh, the people that I personally want to thank really everybody who's been in this process with me. It's not easy to play a musical instrument, especially not when you have had as many things as I have. And I will get into that in another video. But thing that I love about but the thing that I just love about playing a musical instrument is that it brings people together. It's a cliche that music can be considered a universal language, but it can. And I think that is very powerful. If you want to hear some incredibly euphonium playing, I'd recommend one of two things. Listen to Jordan van Hess. Uh, he is a very good euphonium player. Or listen to Stephen Mead. Or Matones. Or look up euphonium players on either YouTube or on another. on your uh, music listening platform of choice and respond and comments, like, comment, share my long unhinged ADHD tangent filled rants about stuff that I like. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.